For a long time, the term New York bred was uttered with disdain, at the very least condescension, in the elsewheres of the thoroughbred business.
There was a stigma about having a New York bred. It was like they would scoff at the foal. He was a New York bred. I mean, it just the word was a stigma.
These days, there's a different feeling echoing through the stables, across the pastures, even in the state's executive chamber.
For the first time, 3 New York bred horses will compete in the Run for the Roses. That's the state of New York.
It's a sense of pride.
You gotta have a New York bred. How can you not? They pay the freight for the other guys.
Susie O'Kane has worked in New York's breeding industry since 1985. She's seen it on the verge of collapse. And now at Saratoga Stud, she's witnessing the remarkable turnaround in fortunes.
Without question, most of our mares are out-of-state mares. And I mean from places like Texas, Louisiana, I mean amazing.
O'Kane says breeders are shipping to New York because enormous purses and enticing awards take some of the uncertainty out of their risky business.
When you're running for the kind of money we are, it adds up very quickly. And it pays an awful lot of bills and gives you a nice cushion. Keeps people in the game.
Sires are coming from out of state too. Of the 5 stallions at Saratoga Stud, 3 are owned by Houston billionaire Bob McNair, and another, Smart Bid, is George Strawbridge's first New York-based stallion.
That's a huge thing. The whole story of him coming to New York and Mr. Strawbridge feeling comfortable in New York and sending mares into New York to breed to him.
Significant change has also come to New York's auction market. Here at Fasig-Tipton, Saratoga last August, nearly twice as many yearlings sold as 2010 in the New York bred sale. Their average price, $80,000, double what it was 5 years ago. The state's 2-year-olds are also fetching higher prices, and Empire breds now represent a bigger chunk of the national foal crop. Breeders like Barry Schwartz are taking their mares to the bluegrass and bringing them back to New York to foal, or buying mares already in foal at Kentucky sales. The result has been a much higher caliber of racehorse.
You go down the entries in a racing form, you look at the breedings and you say, oh, it's a New York bred. You know, you're a little surprised. Oh, this one's by Warfront, this one's by top-class stallions, and they're New York breds because people are aware of how valuable those incentives are.
But it's not just wealthy breeders and owners benefiting from New York's upswing. The hardworking people behind the scenes get something they need too.
I mean, the job security is huge, you know, and there's been more opportunity, better stallions, and make a few more dollars an hour, and a brand new barn here to work at. So I think it's just come full circle. Hopefully it'll continue, you know.
As we've seen in other places, there's no guarantee the money will keep rolling in. But compared to the insecurity and fear that swept across these farms just a few years ago, this cozier existence will do just fine.
You know, the future is something that no one knows, but at least if you have some indicators that at least make you comfortable with spending some money, putting capital improvements and investing, then that's a win-win for everybody. I mean, that's how it starts, being comfortable.
In New York, I'm Scott Jagow for the Pollock Report.